This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Schaller.
Welcome, good neighbors. Episode number 162 of the Good Neighbor Podcast Estero. Today we have good neighbor Brandon Lucas, local realtor and contractor in the Southwest Florida area. Welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
It is awesome. We are doing great this morning, and pleasure to get to know you a little bit more and learn about everything that you do. So let's jump right in, and why don't you share a little bit about what you do?
All right. Well, like you said, I am a local real estate agent. I've actually lived here in the Southwest Florida my entire life. Started out in LaBelle, came to Fort Myers, went to Canterbury, went over to Tampa to get my finance degree at USF, and then came back to Fort Myers. Been doing real estate since then. It's been great. I got about 150 transactions under my belt.
Nice.
And it's what I love to do. I love helping people, love solving their problems, getting them into a new home or selling their home. And as always, I like to sell high and buy low as for my clients.
That's it. And it's fine. So how did you get involved in this whole industry?
Oh, well, actually, my parents came down here when they were 27 years old and started trying to do real estate. My father was in commercial real estate. My mom was in regular real estate. My father ended up actually being so good at commercial real estate that he ended up being King Ranch of Florida ended up hiring him to do a lot of their real estate, ended up becoming a CEO there actually for King Ranch of Florida in this area. So, but they've always preached it since then. I mean, because they've been big into real estate their whole lives. And growing up, I've always saw them buying and selling properties and doing things like that. So it's always just kind of something that was preached to me from an early age. If you're in Florida, get your real estate license. Yep. Whether you use it or not, it's good to have a real estate license to be able to buy and sell real estate.
So they've seen a lot. I'm sure you've seen a lot of change here in Southwest Florida.
Oh, tons, especially in the last 4 years. I mean, Fort Myers especially has had a major amount of growth, in our population. We got everybody moving here from up north and even down south. We got a lot of South American people coming here as well. So it's a real exciting place to be. I mean, not many places in the country do you get to see something being built basically every single day. So.
Absolutely. Now you had mentioned you do some contracting as well too, right?
Yes. Well, I got into that right after Hurricane Ian, and it was funny enough. Actually, I say right after Hurricane Ian, but I actually signed up with Hammer Roofing 2 weeks before Hurricane Ian. Before we even knew the storm was coming in, Brandon Villeneuve hit me up on Facebook and was like, "Hey, I know you do real estate. You might want to try out some contracting and stuff like that." And I was always interested in contracting because, as a real estate agent, you're always referring that stuff out. And you're like, man, maybe I could just do that. But I got into it 2 weeks before. And then, Hurricane Ian hit, and it was pretty, crazy to say the least, but it was a great chance to help people and, help them get back to normal. And, it was a great opportunity to kind of be a part of all that, reestablishment here in Lee County. So.
Absolutely. So you mentioned Ian, that's been one of the big challenges down here in Southwest Florida. Has there been some other maybe challenge or obstacle along your journey that you can look back at now and say, you know what, I'm not necessarily glad I went through it, but I'm in a better place now because of it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of those things, that happen in your life that you're like, why is this happening at the time? And then later on, you're like, you know what? I'm better for it. I'd say, particularly with the contract, obviously that was a hard time for everybody with the Hurricane Ian, just kind of everyone's in panic mode and trying to re-get their lives together. And I think everyone's stronger for that. And me personally, I think probably one of the harder things I've ever been through personally in my life that I think maybe I'm better for is my divorce. I don't know. I've maybe a lot of people could say the same, but I think probably that was probably the hardest thing I've actually ever had to have gone through, that I think kind of made me better in a lot of ways. So, you know, I would say personally that would be my hardship ever.
It's never easy, but you look back and you seem, days later, years later, you're like, I'm in a better place now. So I'm okay with that.
Exactly.
So surrounding, the real estate industry, there has been so much change and evolution over, not just the past year, but the previous years as well, too. Are there any myths or maybe misconceptions that we could clear up for our listeners?
Well, the misconception I think a lot of people are having is that they can think that the market is going to continue the downtrend that it's having right now. I don't see it happening, especially here in the Lee County area. I think the time to buy is right now. If you're not buying right now, you're not doing real estate right, because it has had a good about a 15% decrease in a lot of home prices. We're seeing tons of price decreases right now. Things are sitting on the market, but that's only going to last so long in the fastest growing city in the state of Florida. And Florida is obviously one of the fastest growing states in the country. So, I think the time to buy would be right now. You always want to buy when everyone else isn't buying. If you're as far as investing goes, if you're feeling excitement when you're buying, you're probably buying at the wrong time. Well, there's not a lot of excitement right now, so it's probably a good time to buy.
There you go. Talking about the right times, do you notice anything trending in the industry?
As far as trend, I mean, we got a lot of people kind of going over to the AIs and incorporating that into their business right now. It's big. Trying to see what AI can do. I personally have already tried it. I'm not super impressed. I mean, it's just, I've just had to call a bunch of people and expired listings and things like that. But I think it's where they haven't really got it to where it's on a personal level with people yet. I think as a salesperson, pretty personable and talking to people and hearing their concerns is big. And AI is just not quite there yet. I kind of think where people are really finding it is just some type of mass thing, and I don't know. It is what it is, and I'm sure it will continue to perfect. But that is what it's trending right now, especially for real estate agents.
Absolutely. So you mentioned you're born and raised here in Florida. It's rare to find people like yourself nowadays, but what keeps you down here in Southwest Florida?
Oh, well, I mean, the beautiful weather. I honestly think it's one of the nicer places you can live, especially here in exactly Southwest Florida. We got some of the best people, down to earth people in the country. They all come here. We got the Midwest people, with a very calm, down to earth vibe. And, it's just a beautiful place. We always got sunny weather, and, it's just, it's always a nice place to be.
Absolutely. Speaking about nice places, what do you enjoy doing when you have a moment of freedom?
Well, personally, I do like to. I do some salsa dancing with my girlfriend, and I like to do that as well as I do lift weights, and I try to take care of myself, exercise, do all that stuff. And here recently, I've been trying to get into some Muay Thai and see how that goes, but still just very at the beginnings of all that. So
staying active, though, that's the important part. That is. So is there one thing you wish our listeners knew about what you do that maybe they're not aware of?
I think what a lot of people don't know that what I do and how I do it better than most people is I get a lot of advertising from my clients, and when I list for them on the listing side, I put them in not just the local here, Southwest Florida MLS, which is Naples, Cape Coral, areas like that, but also in the Stellar and the Miami-Dade. So that's covering the whole South area of Florida. As a real estate agent, one of the biggest things you can do to help your clients sell their house for more is the advertising. And how much exposure they get to other people in different markets, because that helps increase the demand. And I've had a lot of success doing that, because sometimes the market here, it gets it gets watered down with a bunch of listings or whatever, but going to another market like Miami where things are more expensive, and then, they can show their clients like, oh, look, this is what you get in Fort Myers, or this is what you can get in Naples, or this is what you get in Cape Coral, is big, and same thing goes for Stellar, over there in like Sarasota where prices are higher, or anywhere. Being them show those agents, show your listing to those agents will help increase your exposure.
Exactly. And it's like you said, making people aware of options. Some people maybe never thought about moving here, but hey, they see it and they're like, well, maybe we could do that. Maybe that makes better sense. But,
exactly. Yeah. A lot of people don't know about this area even still, it's kind of hidden, and, they don't know the price differences a lot of times. And
right.
Here we're still a bargain. I think we're a lot lower than a lot of the rest of the states. So,
right. I know for your business, but personally, it's kind of like, all right, don't tell everybody.
Right. Exactly. Keep it quiet.
Right. So how would our listeners go about contacting you if they wanted to learn a little bit more, or, had some questions?
Yeah, you can reach me at my phone number, 239-464-8056. And again, it's 239-464-8056. And I can always be emailed at Brandon Lucas Realty, REALTY @gmail.com.
Perfect. Brandon, it's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for being such a good neighbor, and I hope to see you out in the community soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast Estero. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpestero.com. That's gnpestero.com, or call 239-296-2621.